The universe is big. Like, really big. You can't even imagine how big it is without your brain hurting. In our galaxy alone, there are billions of stars, and many of them are older than our sun. If even a tiny fraction of these stars had planets like Earth, the galaxy should be teeming with life. Civilizations millions of years ahead of us should have already colonized the Milky Way. They should have built Dyson spheres, giant space highways, and maybe even cosmic billboards. Our tiger friend gazes at the night sky through a telescope, waiting for a signal. But instead, when we look out into the void, we hear nothing. Just an eerie, cold silence. This is the Fermi Paradox, the contradiction between the high probability of alien life and the total lack of evidence for it. Where is everybody? Are they hiding? Are they all dead? Or are we just special? It's a question that keeps scientists awake at night. To understand why the universe feels like a ghost town, we need to look at the math. We'll explore the hurdles that life must jump over to become a spacefaring civilization. We call these hurdles the Great Filter. And depending on where it is, it could be very bad news for us. Today, we explore the mystery of the Great Silence. Grab your space helmet, it's going to get existential. The Great Silence. Civilizations millions of years ahead of us should have already colonized the Milky Way. They should have built Dyson spheres, massive shells around stars to harvest all their energy, or maybe giant space highways and interstellar portals connecting distant solar systems, even cosmic billboards advertising alien snacks. The Great Silence. Our tiger friend gazes at the night sky through a telescope, waiting for a signal. He adjusts the lens, looking hopeful, maybe wearing a little detective hat, but instead, when we look out into the void, we hear nothing. Just an eerie, cold silence. No radio signals, no megastructures, no hello. This is the Fermi Paradox, the contradiction between high probability and zero evidence. It's like arriving at a party that the invitations said would be packed, but the house is empty. Missing, aliens, milk carton with a drawing of a three-eyed alien. Where is everybody? Are they hiding from something scary in the dark? Are they all dead, leaving behind only dust and ruins we can't see? Or are we just special? The first ones to the party. To grasp the silence, we first need to talk about the sheer scale of the playground. The Milky Way is about 13 billion years old. That is a lot of birthdays. Earth, by comparison, is a latecomer, only 4.5 billion years old. If the history of the galaxy was a 24-hour clock, Earth only shows up in the late afternoon. And human civilization? We've only been here for a fraction of a second. This means there were billions of years for other Earths to form before ours even existed. Imagine a civilization that started just 1% earlier than us. They would have had an 80 million year head start. In 80 million years, a species could go from discovering fire to colonizing the entire galaxy. Even at slow speeds, the math says it only takes a few million years to visit every star. So, logically, the galaxy should have been colonized dozens of times over by now. But we don't see any reserved signs. We see a galaxy that looks untouched, pristine, and completely empty. This is where the math gets uncomfortable. Why didn't they make it? Maybe the universe is a lot more dangerous than it looks. To explain why the galaxy is a ghost town, scientists proposed the Great Filter. Think of it as a series of evolutionary stages that are nearly impossible to pass. It's like a massive cosmic sieve that catches almost everyone who tries to get through. For a civilization to survive, it has to be perfect. The first step is the beginning of life itself, abiogenesis. How do dead chemicals become alive? Maybe this step is so rare that it only happened once in the history of the universe. If so, we are the winners of the cosmic lottery. The next hurdle is the jump from simple cells to complex ones. On Earth, this took 2 billion years. It was a long, slow, and possibly accidental grind. Then comes intelligence. Just because you have a brain doesn't mean you'll build a rocket. Look at the dinosaurs. They were the masters of Earth for 150 million years. But they never developed Wi-Fi or space travel. Intelligence might be an evolutionary dead end, or a very rare mutation. But here is the scary part. What if the filter is still ahead of us? What if every civilization that reaches our level inevitably destroys itself? This leads us to two very different possibilities. Either the filter is behind us, or it's waiting in our future. If the filter is behind us, it means the jump from no life to intelligent life is the hard part. Maybe the birth of life is a 1 in a trillion event that only happened here. If that's true, the galaxy is ours for the taking. Tiger planting a flag on Mars. We would be the firstborns, the ancient ancestors of a future galactic empire. In this scenario, the silence is beautiful. It means we have no competition. But there is a much darker possibility. What if the filter is ahead of us? What if the transition from intelligent species to interstellar species is where everyone dies? Maybe climate change, nuclear war, or out-of-control AI are the ultimate killers. If civilizations always destroy themselves shortly after inventing radio, then the galaxy would be a graveyard. This is why finding life on Mars would actually be terrible news. If we find a fossil of a complex animal on Mars, it means complexity isn't the filter. It would suggest that life evolves easily, but something wipes it out later. The more common life is, the more likely it is that the great filter is still waiting for us. As the philosopher Nick Bostrom said, "The silence of the night sky is golden." One reason for the silence is the rare Earth hypothesis. It suggests that for a planet to host complex life, a staggering number of things must go right. You need the right kind of star, the right distance, a giant moon to stabilize the tilt, and a giant planet like Jupiter to act as a cosmic shield against asteroids. If even one of these is missing, life might never get past the slime stage. But what if the galaxy is full of life and everyone is just quiet? Enter the dark forest theory. Imagine the universe as a dark forest at night. The forest is full of hunters, moving silently through the trees. Every hunter must be cautious because they don't know who else is out there. If a hunter finds another life form, they have to decide, friend or foe. In a universe where resources are limited and survival is everything, the safest bet is to strike first. So, civilizations don't broadcast their existence. They hide. They keep their lights off and their radios silent to avoid being seen by a cosmic predator. In this version of the paradox, the silence isn't because life is rare. The silence is a survival strategy. And we are the only ones screaming our location. If the great filter is ahead of us, we are living on borrowed time. Every year we survive is a victory against an invisible wall that has claimed billions. We often think of our technology as our savior, but it might be our executioner. Tiger trying to juggle a nuclear bomb, a virus, and a robot. One mistake is all it takes. This is the grim reaper of civilizations. The point where progress outpaces wisdom, but there's a plot twist. What if we've been looking for the wrong thing? We're looking for radio waves, but an advanced civilization might use something better. It's like trying to find a high-tech city by looking for smoke signals. Maybe they are all around us, using dimensions or technologies we can't even perceive yet. Or maybe, and this is the most humbling part, we just aren't interesting enough. To a Type 3 civilization, we might be nothing more than an anthill in a park. Tiger as an ant being stepped over by a giant alien boot. You don't try to talk to ants. You just walk past them on your way to do something important. The silence might not be a tragedy or a strategy. It might just be indifference. And that realization is perhaps the loneliest feeling of all. But being alone doesn't have to be a nightmare. If we are truly the only ones, then the entire future of the universe is in our hands. Every star we see is a blank canvas, waiting for us to tell its story. We have the chance to be the ones who fill the silence. The great silence isn't a wall. It's a challenge to be better, wiser, and more careful. If the filter is ahead, we must work together to climb over it. We are the eyes of the cosmos, looking back at itself and wondering, why? For now, the universe remains quiet, but our journey has only just begun. To be continued, sign on a telescope. Keep looking at the stars, because as long as we are curious, the silence isn't empty. White background, tiger mascot waving. Thank you for watching! This video was made possible by your support on Patreon. A small alien hiding behind the subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe! What do you think? Are we alone? Let us know in the comments. Fade to black. Logo of the channel.